In January 2014, I had an accident. I slipped and fell on black ice, and I went forward, my feet went up, and I landed on my head. I only remember that at the moment I thought, I have no time for this. And then I don't remember much after. But there was a retired paramedic that was walking by. He saw the way I fell, and I was taken to the hospital. The doctor was assessing me, and he thought I was pretty well because I was speaking so well and I was very coherent. But as a protocol, they decided to do the CAT scan. And when he came back, his face was different. He looked at me and he couldn't believe I was talking because I had had brain hematoma, subdural hematoma in the back of the head, and a brain hemorrhage in the frontal part of the brain. And I was able to go home, and I was told to rest. I couldn't cook anymore. I had very high senses of smell, but I couldn't tell my brain when something was burning. As I was living my daily life, I noticed that there were things I couldn't do, like I couldn't do math anymore. I was going to the supermarket by then, trying to do math in my head, but it was not really coming through. I had problems spelling words, writing words, reading. I was able to read maybe a paragraph, but I couldn't remember what I read. I went to rehab. I did speech therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy. They noticed that I had problems with my balance, and I also had problems organizing my life, planning the day, focusing on time management. I had a very hard time with that. So I knew something was wrong, but then I asked the doctors for me to go back to work and to go back teaching. And I was very curious to know if I could do it. I was draining my energy, but it was because my brain was extra tired. So that was all I could do, go to teach and come home and sleep. And after 1 year of teaching, I drove back home. My daughter was by my side as a passenger, and I had a blackout. And it got to a point when I didn't know what else to do. So this was already the 3-year mark, and I really didn't know if I would have any hope. I am a registered nurse, and I was trying to evaluate and assess myself every single day. And as I was explaining my symptoms to the doctors, they couldn't really make any sense of it. But when she read the book and she began underlining all these symptoms, all exactly the same things that were going on in my life, she realized I was telling the truth and there was something wrong. And well, now she could understand what to do. I hadn't read the book, The Ghost in My Brain, because I couldn't read, I couldn't keep the information. And later on I began getting it on audiobook, so that was, then I was able to read, and then I knew, yes, these are all my symptoms.
Right. So now you want to flip it over to the
So I came here to the Mind Eye Institute, and I was just so impressed, and I knew I could find help. I also knew that dealing with the brain is not easy. I had to be patient, but I had hope. And that's what I needed. For the first month, I saw a huge difference. I used to have a notebook by the bed, waking up in the morning, getting new ideas, and I would just jot them down. And there was just something different when I got the first pair of glasses. I was able to get that notebook again and put it by my bed and wake up in the morning with energy to think, to plan, and to jot things down on that notebook. I'm able to cook and have Thanksgiving meals with my family, not burning any food. I'm able to do more in the house with my life, making plans, starting something and completing it. And there is hope. I can do more. I'm able to have a good life, walking with my dogs with no more issues of getting dizzy. I'm able to drive. I'm able to do a lot more than I did before. So I think every time when I come here and I have a goal, and I know that with her I can accomplish even more, she gives me hope to keep on dreaming.